Hey guys, Miles and Ramos. Last Saturday night, Miami Dolphins lost to the Buffalo Bills, 32-29. Very unfortunate loss for the Miami Dolphins. And before we get even any further, just want to apologize. My neighbor is pressure cleaning, so I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. But if it becomes a problem, I'll try to do my best to edit it out of the video. But anyways, yeah, 29-32, tough loss. On the board there, next time I'm gonna make it a lot more visible in terms of gambling odds. Dolphins covered the spread, the overhit, and the Bills got the money line. For any of you guys who bet on the game, hopefully you guys got some winning picks there. Except for those who took the Bills money line, because it's downright dirty, especially if you're a Dolphins fan. All right, we're gonna get into some highlights in a bit, but let's talk about the standings. Buffalo is on top, 11-3. Miami Dolphins behind them, 8-6, and then New England and New York yet to play, both at 7-6. Let's get into these highlights. Early on, Josh Allen finds Naheem Hines in the flat, and it's very unfortunate. Snowballs started flying. But how about Jalen Waddle making a move on Tre'Davious White? Davis White had a tough time guarding both Waddle and Tyreek. You'll see down the stretch of these highlights, but man, the passing game was looking good for both teams. But what a guy! Like this guy Josh Allen, just we couldn't get pressure on him. We finally start to, and then bam, he finds I believe that's James Cook in the end zone right before the end of the first half too. And the thing that's really sucked about it is that they were getting the ball at the half. Luckily, Dolphins were able to stop him. I think in ensuing drive in the second half in the third quarter, Jalen Waddle finds the end zone, hits Waddle like oh man, very nice by him. Look at this, Tyreek Hill putting on the burners on Tre'Davious White, just putting a move out there. But man, we got to stop Josh Allen from getting out of the pocket like this and just doing anything in terms of running, scrambling, getting people open. Dawson Knox gets a touchdown. This was the 2-point conversion. Looks like ball's crossing the goal line. Ball pops out. So, what can we say? Cedric Wilson, Snow started coming in. Got a nice catch on Tyron Johnson's head, man. Just looked like that could have helped the Dolphins get in field goal range, but drive stalls out there. Punts it. Naheem Hines almost freaking loses the fair catch. Bills go down the field, and you guessed it, hit the game-winning field goal. After the game was knotted at 29 apiece. This helps Buffalo clinch a playoff spot for the fourth consecutive year. The team is loving it in Buffalo. Man, oh man, just tough loss, honestly, especially being in the mix. It wasn't so much that we went there, it started snowing, and it was just not a good performance. No, it was a great performance by both sides as well. It's just a matter of the fact of who came out on top. And not going to necessarily put the blame on the referees, but you can't really let them dictate the games too much. It's pretty annoying when you see that happen. I feel like the last 3 games on the road, I get it, you're the away team, but the game should not be predicated towards penalties, either going or against your favor, or just non-calls, calls, so it is what it is. Tough loss for the Dolphins. What does it mean for them? Well, they need to basically win out. Right now their spot in the playoff is set in terms of they have a good spot there, but there's teams that are all about 7-6 trying to make a push for that spot. So at the end of the day, who knows? The Dolphins could be out of the playoffs if it were to end today. So, crucial loss, but doesn't mean the season's over. I like the effort that the Dolphins put out there, but no moral wins here. Just, you got to close out the game. That last pass to Cedric Wilson that we showed, drive can't stall out after a big play like that. You need to continuously make the right decisions, and I felt like down the stretch we just went back to the bad habits of put the ball into his hands. I understand, yes, Tua's having a good game, but the running game was working. I mean, we'll go over the stats now, but the running game was working. It was pretty frustrating that the fact of that. So let's go over some team stats. Miami Dolphins had 405 total yards. The Buffalo Bills had 446. Buffalo committed a turnover. which I didn't get a video of because I couldn't get a replay. But Jalen Phillips strip sack, Christian Wilkins recovered it almost immediately on Josh Allen. It was an awesome play. Time possession was damn near split down the middle, 30 seconds and 30 minutes and 7 seconds for the Dolphins, 29 minutes, 53 seconds for the Bills. Dolphins had 20 first downs. Buffalo Bills had 29. All right, let's get into the box score and get over these stats, and then we'll talk about why the Dolphins lost the game. We're going over those key stats and so on and so forth. So Tua went 17 of 30, 34 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 2 times for a loss of 17 yards. And then we have Josh Allen, 25 of 40, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 sacks for a loss of 8 yards. The Dolphins' defense was able to get to him, but not as much as you wanted to, and too many times just let him sit around in the pocket. As you saw in the James Cook touchdown, that it was literally just he was sitting there, made a move, and then bam, finds a guy open in the end zone. I mean, the secondary can only hold for so long. The pass rush needs to get there at some point. After 2 seconds, like a play can break down easily, and then whatever happens, So that 100% is on the pass rush. They got to get there quicker. Secondary kind of did their job. They were covering up stuff for a bit. All right, rushing. Raheem Mostert, 17 carries for 136 yards. Longest of 67. That was a beautiful run. Upset I couldn't get the video of it. Savon Ahmed, 6 carries, 43 yards, 1 touchdown. Tuo's 1 carry, 7 yards. Alec Ingold, 1 carry, 2 yards. Buffalo rushing, Josh Allen, 10 carries, 77 yards, longest of 44, which set up the tying touchdown. Devin Singletary, 13 carries, 42 yards. James Cook, 5 carries, 34 yards. Stephon Diggs, 1 carry, -3 yards. So overall, both teams had over 150 rushing. Literally, Bills had 150. Miami Dolphins had 188, which love to see that, especially Raheem Mostert eclipsing 100 yards. But if something's working, don't shy away from it, unless they're starting to shut it down. But they weren't necessarily shutting down the running game, and especially it started snowing. So just keep the clock running and find your way into the end zone. Speaking of finding your way into the end zone, Jalen Waddle found his way into the end zone. 3 receptions, 114 yards, 1 touchdown, longest of 67. Tyreek Hill, 9 catches, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. Let's see. Cedric Wilson, 1 reception, 21 yards. Raheem Mostert, 1 reception, 20 yards. And Alec Ingold, 1 reception, 7 yards. Mike Gesicki, 1 reception, 5 yards. Trent Sherfield, Brandon Brylon Sanders, and Durham Smythe were each targeted. Smythe actually got one. He lost 2 yards. Trent Sherfield had a touchdown in his hands at his waist and couldn't bring it in. You're starting to see there's certain moments in the game that you can pinpoint and be like, man, this would have made a big difference for the Miami Dolphins. Instead of taking 3 points, they could have had 7. And who knows how this game unfolds if that's the case. But if you're going to live in a world of what-ifs, then you're going to be questioning a lot of things. Buffalo Bills, leading receiver was Dawson Knox, 6 receptions, 98 yards, 1 touchdown, longest of 45. Stephon Diggs, 5 receptions, 60 yards. Gabe Davis, 4 receptions, 56 yards. Devin Singletary, 3 receptions, 28 yards. Isaiah McKenzie, 2 receptions, 24 yards. Quinton Morris, 1 reception, 14 yards, a touchdown. Naheem Hines, 1 reception, 10 yards, a touchdown. Cole Beasley, 1 reception for 9 yards. And James Cook, 2 receptions, 5 yards. One of them which was the touchdown. So fumbles. Tua fumbled. Durham Smythe recovered. And then Josh Allen fumbled twice. He lost 1 to Christian Wilkins, which was a strip sack from Jalen Phillips. And then he also fumbled, and Spencer Brown recovered it. Just unfortunate. Gotta get these. Gotta get these. If you can force the turnovers, you gotta get them. Gotta get them, Dolphins. I was very happy with the strip sack, but just gotta get them. Kader Kohu, 7 total tackles, 7 solo, 1 pass deflection. Keon Crossan, 6 total tackles, 5 solo. Christian Wilkins, 6 total, 4 solo. Landon Roberts, 1 tackle for a loss. Zach Sealer, a sack, 2 tackles for a loss, 2 QB hits. Javion Holland, a pass deflection. Andrew Van Ginkel, 1 tackle for a loss. Jalen Phillips, 1 sack. 3 QB hits. Bradley Chubb, a QB hit. And that's pretty much it for the Dolphins. Tremaine Edmonds, 8 total tackles, 6 solo. Matt Milano, 8 total tackles, 3 solo. Half a sack, 1 QB hit. Jordan Poyer, 5 total, 3 solo. Teron Johnson, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 pass deflection. Claire Elaine, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 pass deflection. Daquan Jones, half a sack, 1 QB hit. Shaq Lawson, a sack and a pass deflection and a tackle for a QB hit. Ed Oliver had a tackle for a loss and a QB hit. And that's about it. No interceptions from either side. Kick returns, Raheem Mostert had a return for 28 yards. Naheem Hines had 3 returns for 76 yards, longest of 36. He also had a punt return with no yardage. Jason Sanders went 3 for 3 on field goals, 2 for 2 on extra points. Tyler Bass went 1 for 1 on field goals, 3 for 3 on extra points. Sanders' longest was 47 yards. Thomas Morstead had 4 punts, 167 yards, 3 of which were in the 20, the longest of 59, which was downed at the 1. And then Sam Martin had 5 punts, 215 yards, 2 of which were in the 20, longest of 49. Catch my breath. Oh, man. As a fan, very, very, very disappointing. We were right there, type of loss. Someone from the outside, Dolphins played a very good game. They, what are you going to do? Those have the ball at the end of the game, at home, with timeouts, weather, just a lot of things in their favor. Were the Bills a better team than the Dolphins yesterday? I don't want to say yes. I think Josh Allen was the difference maker, 100%. You take Josh Allen after the Bills, you give him like decent quarterback, a mediocre quarterback. I don't think they win this game. Josh Allen was the difference maker in this game, and I'll admit that. He played a very good game. It's just, man, it's just very unfortunate. Very, very, very unfortunate. So, what were my keys to victory? Protect Tool. I think Dolphins did a decent job of that. Run the damn ball. Great job. 88 total yards rushing. Great. Come out of the game healthy. For the most part, from what I've seen, I think no one really got banged up too bad. So that was good to see. And then defensively, contain Josh Allen. Didn't do that. Big key. I forgot what was the other one. Kind of forced him to run the ball. Did 150 yards, but 304 in passing game. So, I think the game was dictated in a pace that was very well enough for both teams, offensively, defensively. Like, you're gonna get them, they're gonna get you. Kind of a mentality. Like, you're not gonna just pitch a shutout here, which against the Buffalo Bills, I'll be very impressed if the Dolphins ever pitch a shutout against the Buffalo Bills. I just don't think that's possible though. Yeah, just you failed on a couple of the keys to win. Hit on a good amount of them, so really things that the Dolphins just need to keep their head high. It's a tough loss. It's an important loss as well. This puts them at 3-5 on the road. Dang, I didn't update the standing now. 8-6 overall and 11-3 for Buffalo, 6-1 at home. So it was tough, very tough. I liked how they played, but there are a few things that they need to tighten up, especially on the defensive end. I understand that the secondary is a little banged up, and you don't have like one of your main guys that you're expecting to have. It's also on top of that you don't have Brandon Jones or Nick Needham in the secondary anymore right now. But the pass rush needs to get there. Secondary is playing well enough that if the pass rush just gets home, a whole different football team we have here, and that's something that needs to be worked on and emphasized and hopefully fixed by the time we get to the playoffs, if the Dolphins get to the playoffs. Right now, as it stands, still have a spot there. You don't want to jinx it, but let's go over to the playoff standings. As of right now, Miami Dolphins are the 6th seed at 8-6. Who is behind them? The New England Patriots, 7-6. Same thing for the Chargers, New York Jets. So who knows? One of those teams are gonna either come up or go down. And hopefully it's not the Dolphins. Because I know if the Chargers get in, Then if the Chargers and Jets win, Dolphins would be eliminated out of the playoffs. Same thing for the Patriots. Um, if the Patriots win, Dolphins are still in a good position. They have the tiebreaker over the New England Patriots. So just some food for thought. Hopefully, one of those two teams don't win, so Dolphins don't immediately get booted out of the playoff picture right now. But who knows? Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully the Dolphins can get a win. Have a tough stretch coming down the line. What is it? Next 2 of the 3 are at home. You have Christmas Day, 1:00 p.m. against the Green Bay Packers. Then you have New Year's Day, 1 p.m. at New England. It's probably going to be a really cold game. And then to close it all off, Miami Dolphins versus New York Jets. More than likely, both teams will be playing for a playoff spot. It's very sickening. I would have never thought that at the very beginning of the season. Jets turned things around early on, and I was like, it could be very possible at this point. It's looking that way. And it's going to be tough for the Dolphins to make it. But, you lost 3 straight. Now it's time to go win these next 3 and find yourself in the playoffs. Division is more than likely out of the picture, but at least the playoff spot isn't. So something to take away from this game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.